Hello, welcome to a small introduction to graph theory. And this page is taken from Wikipedia on graph theory. What's the meaning of graph theory? Graph theory is a field of mathematics which studies about graphs. A graph is an abstract representation of a number of points that are also called vertices. There are lines connecting these points, or edges connecting these points. So graph theory is a study of a set of points and some lines connecting these points. Each point is usually called a vertex, and if there are more than one vertex, then they are called vertices, and the lines are called edges. Graphs are used as tools for modeling relationships, and they are also used to find answers to a number of problems. Some of such problems are given here. First one is the Chinese postman problem. What is the best way for a mailman to get to all of the houses in the area in the least amount of time? Another problem is the traveling salesman problem. Here it's a problem of a salesman. He has to visit different customers but wants to keep the distance traveled as small as possible. See another problem, the four color problem. Four color problem reads as the problem of coloring with the minimum number of colors. The maps of many countries. We know that if two countries in a map share their borders, we cannot color those countries with the same colors. So four color theorem is the problem of finding a least coloring, or the minimum number of coloring of a map. Next next problem is related to Konigsberg bridge problem, and that problem is to find a closed path. You have to find a closed path in a graph. So that can also be stated like can a sketch be drawn in one closed line? The lines of the drawing are the lines of the graph, and when two or more lines collide, and there is a point in the graph. The task is now to find a way through the graph using each line one time. See, there are different types of graphs. First of all, we can say there is a classification of the graphs into directed and undirected graphs. In the directed graph, the edges or lines are directed in either in one direction or in two directions. When the undirected graph, there is no such a direction associated with any of its edges. Another type of classification is weighted and unweighted graph. Weighted graph. In a weighted graph, we associate some number or some value to each of its edges. There are weighted graphs in which numbers associated or values associated with edges as well as vertices. So I mean, we can define a weighted graph by assigning values to edges and vertices simultaneously. or separately them either to vertices or to edges separately we can assign the values. In all those cases we say that the graph is a weighted graph. An unweighted graph is a graph in which no such assignment of value to either vertices or to edges. Now see, graph theory, the origin of graph theory is very closely related to an old problem. The problem is very famous as Konigsberg bridge problem. A famous mathematician's name is also linked with this problem. That mathematician is Leonhard Euler. Why he is associated with this? Why his name is famous in the name in connection with Konigsberg? It's because he solved this problem. He solved the problem giving no as answer. To get an idea about why he gave no answer to that problem, you have to look into that problem closely. So to get more details of that problem, let's come to this description. Euler used to live in the town of Konigsberg. The Konigsberg is a small town in old Russia. But now the name of the town has changed as Kaliningrad. Its new name is Kaliningrad. That was changed in 1946. The town is on the bank of a river. That name of that river is Praga, and there is an island in the river. You can see that in the figure, and this is that island portion. So this is the city, the whole city or the whole town, and this portion is the island portion. And there is there are 7 bridges across the river. There are 7 bridges. You can see that marked here using these green lines. 7 bridges are shown there. Euler, the problem can be described as Euler actually wanted to walk around and use each of the bridges exactly once. He tried to cross all the bridges, and he wanted to reach back on the starting point by crossing the bridges exactly once. That was his problem. And later he tried to solve this problem, and he found the answer that it is not possible to travel along the bridges following that condition, satisfying the condition. And later he published this article. This the answer to the problem. He published it in an article. The article is included here in the reference as the first reference. You can see that the first reference here is Biggs and Lloyd and Wilson. And it was there described in that article. In this article it was described actually, and the reference is made here about that one. And this article is seen as the first paper in the history of graph theory. And on that problem, that article he published it as an article, and that article appeared in that first reference. Now coming to the last part, graph theory is an important part of mathematics and computer science, and to know much about the graph theory and the problems related to it and its exact solutions, we need to you can refer either any one of the articles included here. More about graphs will be discussed in the following lectures. Okay, thank you.